let's play a game. Is this law from Islam or America? So in this first law, there is no minimum age for marriage. So a 7-year-old child can be married with just parental consent. That's actually America.
No, there's no place in the United States where a child 7 years old can get married unless there's permission from his parents and a judge. Has to be a judge. So Lily J is not telling the truth. But in Islam, there are many countries that can have a 7-year-old marry an older man. There's no problem with that in Afghanistan, Sudan, Nigeria, and the northern states. Iran has limits, the 13-year-olds for girls. Gaza has no limit for girls. The Ottoman Empire didn't have any limits for girls. And then the Mecca, when Muhammad ruled, there was no limits for girls there. He married a 6-year-old. Also, Muslim Spain, there was no minimum marriage age during the reign of the Sultan of Cordova.
Right, let's do another one. In this law, it's legal to marry your mother or father-in-law. America. Shocking, right?
No, the Quran or the Bible doesn't allow anybody to marry their mother or father-in-law. There's no state in the union that allows that either.
Right. Now, this next law, if you're raped and get pregnant, you can be arrested for having an abortion. And again, America.
Lily needs to ask ChatGPT. It says, generally, no, a woman in the United States is not arrested simply for being raped and then going out and getting an abortion. As of August 2026, state abortion laws primarily impose criminal penalties on doctors, providers, not the pregnant women who get the abortion.
That's crazy. Now, this next law, public schools can physically punish your child. America, in 17 states.
So 17 states allow corporal punishment of students, but most Muslim schools have the same type of physical punishment: spanking, caning, or hitting with sticks. Lila J needs to look at Egypt and Yemen. Egypt has reports of belts, sticks, and canes, and Yemen has documented widespread corporal punishment in school. Lila J is the pot calling the kettle black.
All right, let's move to the next one. In this law, a woman cannot divorce her husband without his approval. Surprise, surprise, America.
No, Lila J is showing her deficiency of mind. There is no U.S. state where a husband's approval is legally required for his wife to obtain a divorce. That's just not true.
Now, this next law, the government can take all your money, your cars, your property, on suspicion of a crime without any real evidence, and even keep it if you're not convicted. Yep, America.
And actually, Muslim countries for the last 1,400 years have invaded certain countries and taken all kinds of assets and property. American assets are taken because crimes have been committed. But war booty is more that the war has been won by Muslims, and then they start taking over the country. And they take churches, like there's 39 churches that have been taken by Muslims. Most are from Turkey. Isn't this stealing? Why don't they give the churches back? In the United States, assets are taken from criminals. There must be some legal basis connecting the particular property to the alleged crime, and the owner has procedures for challenging the seizure of contested assets.
Now, in this next law, cheating on your spouse can carry up to 5 years imprisonment with no eyewitnesses needed. You guessed it, America.
You still need evidence that adultery was committed. But Islam has worse punishments for adultery, and the punishment for adultery is some serious flogging or even death. But Muslim scholars say the verses for stoning for adultery have been abrogated.
In Islam, you can't accuse someone without multiple witnesses.
Yeah, 4 witnesses must have seen the sexual encounters. But the husband has an advantage because he does not need any witnesses, but a wife needs 4.
Now, in this law, a person can be executed brutally by firing squad.
Yeah, a firing squad is pretty evil, but let's see what capital punishment Islam has: stoning, execution by beheading, crucifixion, and killing, which could mean a firing squad.
Now, in this final one, a prisoner can slave labor as punishment for their crime? America.
Is Lily J trying to say that Islamic countries don't have prisoners doing work in their work camps? No. Islam has elements of captives, slaves in all kinds of prisons. And also women that are captured in war are become concubines and sex slaves. Western values and Christians don't have anything like that in their records.
Interesting.